All right, welcome back, everybody. Woo! Welcome. It's Tuesday Museday again. And yeah, today's theme is eclipsing, or eclipse, or ecliptical. I tried to get on the ecliptical at work, at the gym, but somebody was in my way. I got more where those came from. Welcome, everybody. Let's see who's here. I'm not sure what just happened. You guys know what just happened? I know Cornelius is happy because the whole beginning and ending was in 7/8, my friend. And yes, it is bongo guy time. Sorry, it's so tiny. Let me see if I can. There we go. I got one of the bongo guy shirts, but this one, the print was very tiny. So I've since made it larger on the website. But this was my sample, which it's okay, right? It's okay. It's like people are like, what? Oh, haha, bongo guy. All right, let's say hello. Let's see who's here. Bill was the first here. Hello. And Roseanne, welcome. Sue and Charlie. Hey, thanks for the super chat tip. We appreciate that. Let your example be an example to be followed. Yeah, Sue's here. Let me see. And yeah, appreciate that. Cornelius, Rebecca, hello. Daisy's here. And did I miss anybody? Huhar, is that how you say? Welcome. I don't think you've been here before, so welcome. That's awesome. And tell me if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I don't know. Welcome, everybody. I think we're almost caught up. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so welcome. Did you guys, I know, Roseanne, you went out to see the eclipse somewhere because you guys were not far from the path. I don't know, did anybody see it? Put a moon in the chat or something. If you saw any of the eclipse, I did not. I was just working on a car I'm trying to sell. I was just like out there working all day. And I did manage to get one video out yesterday too, so that was good. But my day was eclipsed with other things. But, you know, I guess it's a 20 years, at least in northern United States phenomenon. Is that right? The next time. Oh, Cornelius saw it. All right. Good for you. You're probably one of those people that went to great lengths of living in the state where the eclipse was happening. I decided not to do that this time. So that's why I didn't see it. But I want to share something with you guys that's kind of profound. In case you're into eclipses and you want to get more of it, I'll tell you how in a second. All right, so Cornelius saw it. I know, yeah, Roseanne saw it. And Expressly Symbols? Partial in Atlanta. All right, good. Yeah, the last eclipse, the last solar eclipse, I did see here in LA. It was a few months ago, and I remember that was good. That was a Saturday morning, and it was a pretty good one. It was just got down to a little sliver. And do you guys ever look at the shadows? You know, when it like the light comes through the trees, for example, or it comes through a screen or something like that, and you get tiny, like a jillion little shadow eclipses on the ground. That to me is very magical. I was witnessing that on the last one. So let me show you what I've got out today. In addition to, I've got two really cool instruments. I hope you guys like that. This one was covered on my left, but I'll show you what it is. This is the Kosmosky tank drum chromatic in G, and it actually has amazing sustain. I've done a review on this before on the channel. Amazing sustain, but it also has these LED lights that I've turned on inside there, and you can't see it with the lights on, but wasn't that cool that you could see it with the lights off? Let's take another look real quick. Yeah, so that's what it looks like with the lights off, and it actually makes it very easy to find the notes like that. So either covered with the lights on, with the inside lights on and the outside lights off, so you can see it. See, the theme today is lights on, lights off. All right, and welcome Orpheus Creative Comment. I think you've been here before, right? Okay, so that's the on this side, that's the, what is it, Kosmosky G chromatic tank drum with the little lights inside. And then on this side, it's been a while since I've used it, but I thought this was apropos because this is called the Sun Drum. And the Sun Drum is by, what is it, Walter. And now, I don't know if they're still making this. Every time I say that, I get in trouble from the manufacturers because they're like, yes, we're still making it. I don't know, but this is a cool instrument. It's actually plugged in. Both of these are plugged in to, they both have pickups. And they do get picked up with the mic, but they also have a plug, a pickup, you can see right here, right behind the World Drum Club logo. And this one you can tune, and I tuned it to match the G. So, yeah, you can play both these together. But in the spirit of in the spirit of full eclipsing, I thought, oh, I get the Pandero, we get a little bossa nova, get some Pandero action, but then look what happens. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Get ready. Oh, look at that. The golden Corona. I wish I had a golden Corona right now. Don't you? All right. Sorry, you guys. All right, so we use the Pandero also, and the Sun Drum, the steel tongue drum by Kosmosky. We had the cajon down here. We had a little shaker. And later, towards the end, I put the agogo in there, which is one of the bells on the video that I just did. So you can check that out if you're interested in learning more. And then, what was the song? Do you guys, hopefully somebody will recognize it. I didn't butcher it too bad. What was the song that I was playing? Or at least the chord changes to. Anybody? That was also, I thought, apropos, but it's not a test. Maybe that should be guess the sound. Guess the song today instead of guess the sound. But I tried to, yeah, I tried. That's what I had going on today, you guys. I want you to know I put some time and effort into today's show. I even rehearsed. So, yeah, let's put we can put the ukulele part in the background. See, it'll be good. Little talking, little ukulele background. Let me tell you guys what I discovered. You know, I didn't see the actual, you know, the solar eclipse, but let me tell you something. I did experience a massive eclipse between yesterday evening and this morning. And I'll tell you, you guys, you don't have to wait. In fact, the sun's rays were blocked by the Earth the entire time. In fact, I had so much time for this eclipse that I was able to go to sleep and wake up, and it was still happening. That's right. So if you want to, you know, feel special and witness the sun's rays being blocked by a celestial body, you don't even have to go anywhere. It happens every day. Actually, it happens at night. But I guarantee you, if you just stay where you are, unless you're on the North or South Pole at some time of year, but if you basically stay where you are, and this works better if you're on an equatorial area, or at least a temperate zone, that you will experience I don't know what it's called, a terrestrial eclipse. Every single day, all right? It's a really amazing. And you could even take a nap and wake up and it'll still be eclipsing. All right. So that's your tip for today. That's the takeaway from today's show. All right. Any guesses? I don't see any guesses of the song. Don't make me sing. You'll be sorry. Nobody? Yes, it doesn't work for polar bears, I guess. Well, I mean, if you're hibernating, you just miss a bunch of eclipses. I don't know what to call that. So the solar eclipse is when the sun is being blocked. The lunar eclipse is what? When the Earth's shadow is when I guess they're both when the sun's rays are being blocked. One is just on the moon. One happens on the moon. The shadow's on the moon. Moon shadow. And then the shadow's on the earth, right? So those are the two things. I'm still waiting. Nobody? Let me give you a hint. Let me see if I can. I'll see if I can play this on the. I'll see if I can play it on the Kosmosky. I don't know if I can. That's as close as I can get. Anyone? Are you being followed by a moon shadow, Daisy? Okay, Roseanne has explained all of the eclipses. Sun, moon, earth. In other words, the moon is between the sun and the earth is a solar eclipse. That's right. And then if the earth is in the middle, it's a lunar eclipse. Yeah. Which, honestly, to me, doesn't make any sense. Because one is, because the sun is not in between either of those, but yet it still gets a name. All right, expressive symbol, sorry. Got it right, it's Fly Me to the Moon. Thank you for rescuing you guys from hearing me try to sing this. Maybe we'll all try it later, probably not. But yeah, so it was Fly Me to the Moon. In other words, please be true. Everybody. Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. All right, keep going. All right. Isn't that nice, you guys? All right. It's time to get into the program. Why do I know? It's always like halfway through. I don't know what it is. It's like, it must be a drummer thing. All right, let's do this. Where's my keyboard? All right, let's go. Guess the sound! All right, you guys. I think this is going to be easy today. I hope. You guys ready? This is Guess the Sound, in case you didn't hear that. The idea with this segment is to guess the sound. This one. Okay, here we go. Ready? Now, you cannot use, Cornelius, I'm talking to you. You cannot use metal bendy thingy as a name for, that's not the name. So the challenge with this, I think all of you guys have an image in your head right now. It's like, oh yeah, that thing. But what is it called? What is the name? That is the question. So it's not only guess the sound, but it is, it's that thing. Touche. It's name the sound, it's guess the sound, name the instrument. I know, see? Expressive symbols is like, I know the name. See, I know you guys know what it, I know you have an image. You're like, oh yeah, I know that thing. I can visualize it, but what is it called? Slide bell is a good guess. It should be called slide bell. That's actually what it sounds like. By the way, I want to know what you guys thought of the opening today, the opening music. I took my time, and I just thought, I'm going to start really mellow and kind of ramp up into it. But I want to know how was it as a audience member. Daisy said tuning fork. I like that guess. It's not a tuning fork, but that is a funny guess. Tuning fork. It's like a fork that you're tuning. Ah, okay. Daisy got it. As far as I can see, she is the first one to name it. It is the Flexatone. It is the Flexatone. Let me see. All right. Let me see. Let's see if I can give you a better look. All right. Right here. That is the Flexatone. So you kind of push it with your thumb. I know it's hard to see. Let me use the overhead. So, hello. I'll be right here. Oh, this is a good background for demonstrating things. Maybe I should leave this on all my videos. So you've got a flexible piece of metal. This is very similar. This piece of metal is very similar to a tape measure. It's like very bendy, right? It's like, it reminds me of that material they make tape measures out of. But obviously it has no numbers, so it's not good for measuring things. Maybe patience if you play it with other people in the house. And then you've got these two little cranberries on these little, also the same material, the same metal, and they're just waiting. They're hanging out waiting. And then you shake them back and forth, and then you use your thumb to push down on the end, kind of like, I don't know, what is that, like a giant tiddlywink. You guys remember tiddlywinks? That's the problem. Nobody plays tiddlywinks anymore. I solved it. That is the problem these days. That's kind of a cool sound, isn't it? So that's not how you do it. And if you're a fan of Warner Brothers cartoons or Hanna-Barbera cartoons, like the old, any of the older cartoons where they used an orchestra, a small orchestra, to play the scores, which are amazing, you guys, right? Cartoon music, come on. Amazing. Amazing music, amazing musicians. Anyway, you probably will hear this Flexatone in there. It's not an instrument that we associate with, I don't know, romantic music very much, but it's not in a lot of love songs and ballads, but it is in a lot of cartoon music. And I don't know, maybe with an effect, it could make its way into like a horror movie soundtrack. Let me see. maybe not. All right, so why are there two of me? Because I need to press that. All right, that is the Flexatone. Daisy, congratulations. You get the points today, which is 71. Why is it 71? Today's the 71st episode. Can you believe that, you guys? Many of you have been here pretty much the whole time, so thanks for hanging out. Yeah, 71 Tuesday Musedays. It's good. I keep showing up. You guys keep showing up. I was just talking with somebody today, a flute player and musician, and she just shared with me that she was at a flute camp thing, and that she had this kind of epiphany about what music meant to her, and that for her it was a very spiritual experience, which a lot of people say that about music, and I agree with that. But the reason is because it's a here and the now thing. You can't do it in the past. You can't do it in the future. I mean, you could think about it, but you can't do music in any other time except the present. But for her, it was just a freedom from planning. I mean, you could plan a little, but anytime you make music, you can only plan, right? You can prepare and you can plan, but you cannot do anything except do it, be a musician in that moment that you're making the music. It's a little bit unlike other art forms where you can erase and redo things. And not to take anything away from, people that do drawings or, mosaics or sculptures or anything like that. But with music, it really is a one and done kind of thing. It's just, it happens in real time and that's it. And so for her, she was saying how it was kind of freeing in that way. It put her really in the moment, and then with a little bit of element of improv, you don't have time to think, you just don't. And that's kind of what I get out of Tuesday Musedays. That was my point I was leading up to. That's why, because I was talking about how, I've been doing this is the 71st one. And one of the things I shared with her was that I appreciate the opportunity to show up for you guys and just create, just play. And even though I do a little bit of preparation, sometimes more than others, like today, I was out here a little bit earlier than normal because I wanted to go over the song chords, and I had to set up my equipment, and I have to get mic levels and plug in the instruments and do all that stuff. But every single time, it's like the clock starts. It starts at 5. I cannot delay it, even though sometimes I have by accident. But it's just like, there it is. It's time to go. Let's go and just do it. And you just have to show up and play. And hopefully it's something, that you guys enjoy, and hopefully something that doesn't stress me out too much. I feel like doing these and improvising, and I'm recommending that you guys try this too. If you're not already, maybe some of you are, but if you haven't, put yourself in a similar situation. It doesn't have to be live streaming, but maybe go play for some people, in a retirement home or a school or your friends or whatever, and put yourself in a situation where you just have to play. You have to make music, and you can't hide. There's no hiding. And just what it does for me is it makes me do my best. It makes me ignore and just forget about the little mistakes and things that don't go well. And I feel like that's a real transferable skill into real life. Like, a lot of us are very conscientious about how we do things in public and how we're seen and how we're perceived by others. So we don't like to, do mistakes. And a lot of what we do is kind of packaged and rehearsed, especially online. It's sort of prepared, for consumption. But when you do something like this, you really can't do that, And what that does is it allows me to be better at letting stuff roll off my back, as it were. So anyway, I'm going to stop yapping about that. But I do recommend that you guys, if you're not already, improvise. But more importantly, like do something where you're putting yourself under a little bit of pressure to create. And then I feel like if it's the right amount of pressure, of stress, it can be very liberating because it puts you right, just right in the moment, And especially if you can play with other musicians, which is something I wish I could do here. Maybe I can sometimes. We'll have some guest musicians in here for Tuesday Music. That's something I should do. I'm going to look into that. Thanks, Kalani, for that idea. You're welcome, Kalani. All right. What have I missed? Cornelius has already, good man, you've already submitted your Gimme 5 for, okay, I don't have a, do I have a didgeridoo here? I don't think, I don't think I didgeridoo. I don't have that right here, but I could substitute something else, and I will keep the didgeridoo request in mind because well, I will say I have played the didgeridoo in the past. At one point I was practicing it, but I haven't touched it in a long time. So first I have to make sure there's no spiders living in it, and then I can practice it a little bit. But for today, maybe sub that one out with something else and put it in the chat again. So yeah, let's do the Gimme 5 selections. We've got about 18 minutes according to my clock here, which is plenty of time. In the meantime, I want to remind you guys that we have 2 masterclasses up on the site right now. We've got the masterclass with Matthias Philipsen on bongos as a, well, bongos in contemporary music and sort of like bongos as a mini drum set. One of the things Matthias does, or Matt does, is use the cajon, you know, as a small drum set. And I asked him to do something for bongos for my patrons, and so he did a series, which I think is great. He gives you a lot of ideas. Some of the things are specific rhythms, but my biggest takeaway from his 4-part series in the Masterclasses series was how you can play the bongos, you know, as a little drum set to emulate some different beats. And then another thing he does is he uses a shaker, and he'll play a shaker, you know, like, you know, he'll play a shaker and a beat, which is something I think we all do as percussionists. But then I really like that he took it to another level. He was like, which I'm not going to try to do because I haven't practiced at all. But he was doing like a da 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 da, and kind of emulating like a cymbal or a hi-hat rhythm with the shaker, and then do a beat with that. So it got a lot of, he really got into a lot of independence kind of stuff. And then there were some special effects sounds, which I know Roseanne did a video on her channel. If you guys haven't seen Roseanne's channel, go check out her channel. She will leave a link in the discussion. But Roseanne is doing videos too, which is awesome. And go by there and say hello, you guys, and support. That's why we're here, you know, to share. And if any of you are doing anything and you want to promote whatever you're doing, go ahead. The more, the merrier. The other thing that's coming up is Randy Gloss will be here. I'm going to try to get him here live in the studio so we can just record it here because the quality's a lot better. And it's good to hang out with Randy. He's a good dude. So he's going to be doing something for May. I'm not sure what, but those are available on the Masterclass series, all right, for patrons. And I don't know if any of you are, I'm just going to do a little plug. I feel like I want to do like a spring fun drive. Where is the thing? That's the spring. I want to ask some of you guys if you're a free patron. There are free patrons, but that's not really, you're not really a patron, but you can kind of join the Patreon and be a free member, which is cool because you still get announcements and stuff. But you don't get access to most of the things over there because that's for patrons, because that's how I fund a lot of what I do, including paying the people to do the masterclasses. So if you guys are, you know, enjoying the content, enjoying what I'm doing here, this is kind of how I make a living. So if you get something out of it, then consider putting something into it. So that, I mean, that's just the way things work, right? So that's a good reciprocal relationship. If you can, if you can't, it's okay. But if you can, if you have a little bit of discretionary income, and or you just want to invest in yourself, and that's one of the ways you can do it, because I invest in you guys. So if you want to invest in yourself, you want to receive that and say yes, thank you, like Tom just did. Thank you, Tom. You can do super chat here on the Tuesday Musedays, or just join at patreon.com/Kalani. And you can just pitch in a little every month. Like I used to say, for the cost of a fancy cup of coffee, you can be a patron, which I don't know. Today, maybe you can't even get a fancy cup of coffee for $5 anymore. But you could join for as little as $5. The courses and things that we have there start at, now it's $35. We have some legacy people in that are at a lower rate, but that's because they've been there a long time. And, I appreciate that. So they get to lock in the rate. But, inflation. But it's super cheap, you guys. I mean, I've spent thousands of dollars on my own education, not just in school, but going to workshops and classes and camps and paying teachers and going to other countries and, taking a lot of classes and workshops. And that's one of the things I try to bring to you guys, is all of that stuff, all the investment I've done in myself, and I try to bring it here. But I do appreciate anybody who feels like, okay, that's cool, let me chip in. It's a good feeling. I support a couple of people too through Patreon, so it's you'll also be supporting them if you support my Patreon. One of the things you can do is also, now I don't get most of the money for these t-shirts, but if you want to get, like we have Bongo Guy now. I know it's tiny, it's hard to see. We have Bongo Guy and Bongo Gal t-shirts that are at Teespring. The link should be down below. Go check it out. Have fun. I'm going to add some other products over there. It's just kind of text-based stuff, but the Bongo Guy thing was something that I've been thinking about for a while. So yeah, and Tom is a drummer and flute maker, and Tom has done a couple Zoom lessons, and that's also something I do for people who ask. So consider that as well. All right, Roseanne, do we have a Give Me 5? Because I haven't been reading all of the stuff. I've been talking a lot. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Cornelius, yeah, if you want to send it like a revised list, or Roseanne will revise it. Or I will. Let me see. So far we've got congas. Oh, congas, bongos. Okay, look. Sorry. Bongos are still a little bit out of commission, and they're way over there, kind of buried. If we could do, so what I have available quickly and easily is congas over here. I do have these two nice tongue drums, the wooden one and the metal one. They're set up, so I'm just saying. I've got some percussion on a table here. I've got stuff over here. We've got the pandero, which is fun. We've got the cajon. We've got flutes. I do have a djembe right here. I could get that happening. And there's a few other little things. I'll have shakers and sound effects. So let me know. And then just give me the thumbs up or down. Maybe give me the okay on Roseanne's list that she just posted, which is cajon, sun drum, kosmoski, pandero, and ukulele, which is all of which we had in the opening, but we can do a different vibe, different style. So let me know, and we'll do it. We'll get into it. By the way, you guys, I did just post, as I mentioned earlier, I just posted a video on bells. And I have an older video on bells, but Okay, good, Cornelius. Thank you. I have an older video on bells, but the last video I did because I feel like those are the most popular and most available bells that are kind of out there. Certainly cowbells, you know, are the most, but I did agogo, gankogwi, atoke, and ken for the dun dun drums. So it kind of went from most popular to not as popular, but those are the bells that I see people buying, like music teachers. And, you know, if you're doing gigs or whatever, you might probably want to have like agogo and maybe gankogwi, but at least a couple cowbells if you're just starting off. And maybe a few of the different cowbells, like a couple low ones and a couple high ones, just because sometimes you need a different pitch or a different sound for a certain thing. All right, so we are going to do the Gimme 5 with cajon, sun drum, kosmoski, pandero, and ukulele. Okay. All right, let's do that. And I'm going to erase what I put in there earlier. And let's get it organized. I do want to thank you guys for stopping by. I might sneak a little flute in there too, because why not? Let me see. Are you saying cowbell, Cornelius, because you want to add a cowbell? Or you want me to add a cowbell? Or are you just typing cowbell? I have this little one handy. Throw in the cowbell. Okay. I will do that. How about this one? Yeah, this is a nice one. This is a Tycoon cha-cha bell. All right, I'm going to switch over to the other mic and get something going here. Let me, first I want to set up the looper. You know what? Maybe I will change the meter. It's not going to be 7/8. Because I already did some 7/8, but it'll be close. All right, let me see. All right, I think this is good. that time, you guys. I'll keep going another minute or two, but I wanted to, thank you for dropping by. Thanks, Cornelius, for the suggestion, and Roseanne, as always, for joining and supporting. Appreciate you guys. We're just in the zone here, so we're going to keep playing another couple of minutes. But thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys next week. Get your Bongo Guy t-shirt if you want. Hi, Richard. Thanks for coming in. A little bit late, but better late than never. It's all good. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.
World Drum Club,